Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Void Hunters. For today's video, I'm gonna catch up on all of the hunt reports that I have missed lately. It's been a bit since I made a video, and maybe you're like me and you feel a little bit out of the loop. What's going on with Void Hunters? When's their beta? Do we have any fun updates to share? Let's take a look. All right, so looks like they're doing a little bit of a UI overhaul as well, but this was just posted overall. Yeah, yesterday, if I could word like yesterday. So there's a few updates here, and then there was another hunt report posted on the 7th of August, hunt report number 3. But I haven't even shared hunt report number 2, so I think I want to go back there from a month ago. So I have made videos on the previous one, so I guess the first hunt report we can TLDR that they're adding this find system to easily get the materials you need. More control over the PC version. They're having a little bit of a change to the feeling when you first enter the game, like the first time user experience, as we call it, the FATELESS. Explaining the rewards regarding pre-registration. You'll get some rewards on game launch, etc., and community activities. Now, they did start a community activity thing, which will come through as I go along, but yeah, I think what I'll do is read through these like I did in the last one, where I have the picture up that goes along with it, and I read the stuff on the side. All right, so we have, this is hunt report number 2 from July 21st. A new look at the story intro. In the previous hunt report, we mentioned that we had started reworking the game's intro. We're happy to say that the project is moving forward nicely, and the very first storyboards and visual iterations are already taking shape. It is still early work, but seeing the opening of the game slowly come together has been incredibly exciting for the team. We cannot wait to share it once it reaches the next stages of development. All right, and then we have bringing the story to life. As many of you already know, we want the story of Void Hunters to be remembered not only for its writing, but for the way it's presented. Over the last few weeks, our artists have created a whole collection of new illustrations connected to the game's lore and story. These pieces will help tell the journey of the hunters in a much more immersive and cinematic way, giving important moments of visual impact they deserve. I always want to click it, but you close it. All right, new board concepts. Some of you may remember the Forest Ancient Ruins location we showed in the previous hunt report. Besides the combat arenas themselves, Void Hunters also features exploration boards that you travel across when progressing through campaign. Work has already started on brand new board layouts, and below you can find some of the very first sketch and concept. As always, it's still a work in progress, but they already give a good idea of the direction we're heading. Just these like ruin vibe with interesting stone structures. I think their style's fun overall. See, I click. New environment concepts. Our concept artists have been busy exploring entirely new environments that will eventually become part of the world of Void Hunters. Below you can see one of the latest environment concepts created by the team. Every new location starts with dozens of sketches before it finally takes its final shape. And watching that creative process unfold is always one of the most rewarding parts of development. If you're curious about how these environments are created, make sure to check out the latest devlog, where we take a closer look behind the scenes. So yeah, there are a couple recent devlogs that were posted, and then there was one to be posted after regarding the behind the scenes, like a thematic thing, and one of them was environments. So that's one of the things I meant to make a video on, is combining those devlogs and watching the videos and reacting. So we'll do that at some point. when we're in between here checking out what's going on with the development. Why can I just not hit the X? It's fine. And then, yeah, a new devlog is on the way. So speaking of that, a lot of work has gone into preparing our newest episode. This time, Borak and Olga will take you behind the scenes of creating the world and story of Void Hunters. They will talk about what inspired the universe, how the dialogue is written, and how the game's lore evolved over time. And of course, you'll get a sneak peek at some of the brand new factions currently in development. And then the new devlog came after here. Again, narrative and lore. So like environments were one of the themes. Narrative and lore is another one. And they did give this a fun little visual. Thank you for hitting 20,000 members on Discord. But yeah, down to hunt report number 3. So let's keep checking out the updates. So a shout out to the backend team. Let's start with the team that usually works far away from the spotlight, but whose job affects every single one of you. Our backend team is responsible for making sure the servers stay stable, the systems work properly, and the game can handle sudden traffic spikes, whether they happen during the weekend or in the middle of the night in Europe. Recently, they managed to reduce the size of the player saves by around half. Magic, or at least something that looks like it from our side. Now the team has moved into a bigger and longer project, preparing the backend for the highest traffic we expect around global launch. It's not the flashiest part of development, but it's one of the most important ones. Yeah, people got to physically be able to play. So this is regarding, let's see, total RPS, successful RPS, error rate, and latency. Now, this is just looks like numbers and dots on a graph to me. Not exactly something that I understand or would even try to break down, but maybe some of you do, or some of you understand this side of development. So it's really cool that they're actually showing it for those that might like to see. All right, we have a new world map view. The world of Void Hunters is now its own fresh and shiny new map. We're not gonna reveal the entire world just yet for fairly obvious reasons, but we can give you a first look at a zoomed in, work in progress, covering the Archlands, the region where you spent most of your time during the alpha. There's still more work ahead, but it will give you a better sense of the vastness and diversity of the lands and regions of the world of Void Hunters, while more detailed regional map view is going to get a facelift as well. I like the idea of a world map. It just puts things together, like visually when you're here thinking about a story. So I love when a game includes that. Something for iPad owners. So this one, it should be especially interesting for our fellow PC players. Why does it say for iPad owners? It says PC in the text. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's both. PC and and 4x3 for iPads for sure. Tablets and PCs. Okay, our settings are getting expanded with different graphic presets. Much more control over the audio settings, resolution options, frames per second limiter, etc. I think they put the wrong text. That was the information for the last thing. I think they just put the wrong text that was from when they optimized for PC. But it looks like they have adjusted things to fit properly for 4:3 ratio like on an iPad. So we'll just trust that's what they intended to talk about and move on to the next point. Improving sound effects and ambiance. The audio design you heard in alpha was only for first iteration, and now it's getting a much needed refresh. The team is currently reviewing and updating different combat sounds, environmental ambience, and the overall feeling during the battles. These changes are being evaluated and internally, but you should be able to hear the updated sounds for at least the half the roster during incoming playtest this fall. Okay, there's a little hint that they did say beta. Did they say beta Q4? So if they're saying fall and not winter, that should mean a fairly earlier playtest is the plan. Like October, November? I would assume. Community trials. So we're also getting very close to releasing community app we've been working on over the last few weeks. And today we're finally giving you a small sneak peek at what is coming. Oh wait, my bad. Next picture. Haha. Get ready for the weekly trials that test both your knowledge of the game and how closely you've been following the community. Each week we bring a new challenge, a few small rewards, and eventually a final trial for those who manage to prove themselves along the way. This is meant to be a fun way to stay involved, test how much you really know about Void Hunters, and compete while waiting for the game to be able to be playable again. Click the button now to make sure you already join once the app goes live. So this is a special button that probably gives a role in the Discord, right? You're now signed up for the trials. I saw they posted about that. I could have sworn. Yeah, right here. Community trials. Maybe, I don't think I really want to do it. I just wanted to see what it looked like. But they did post this on August 10th in the announcements that the community trials are here. You just need to click the button below to get the role for the trial worthy. And then there'll be instructions for doing it, or you head straight to the trial of Void Hunters. You log in with Discord and you will be linked. So that is what you will do to get started. There's weekly quizzes, dynamic standings with other hunters, digital rewards, like Discord ranks, or achievements. The grand trial will qualify for some exclusive physical merch. Oh, you had me at merch. Okay, fine. Okay, this is what it looks like for the trials. Echo of the Prisoner. Oh god, I really don't remember the lore. But we have some people here. Mango Man. I'm guessing you could kind of, okay, this is cool. Let's just see what the first question is. Echoes of the Prisoner. It's time to test you against your most powerful foes. 6 questions. You only get 20 seconds per question. Okay, no looking things up and taking time to do that. Once you start the trial, you won't have another chance. Okay, maybe I don't do this right now. We'll come back to that. But yes, there you go, guys. That is a thing. But we're not done yet. The newest hunt report is here. So we have combat keyboard support. Oh, that's nice to hear. So PC combat's getting more keyboard friendly. Another good piece of advice for our fellow PC players. We're planning to bring more extensive keyboard support to the battle screen, so you'll be able to keep the combat flowing without constantly reaching for the mouse. This also includes choosing which opponent you want to strike directly from the keyboard. A new look for the hunting grounds. We're making steady progress on the overhauled hunting grounds, which you'll be able to test during the playtest coming this fall. We are not going to spoil too much yet, but we can give you another small look at where things are heading. Take a good look at the screenshot and you can see what you spot. Of course, there's very much a work in progress, so don't get too attached to every button. So it looks like here the pictures and the filters look the same, but there's definitely this little card selected thing at the bottom. I don't know what that is. That is new. The effects here, I don't know what that, I mean, I don't know. It looks pretty familiar. It doesn't look too dramatically different. Maybe it's just this whole effect and prey thing. We're clearly seeing the details, which is fine. But yeah. They're working. Their UI is gorgeous to begin with. They've got a good style, so they've already got their style down. All right, setting the mood for what's to come next. Our art team is not slowing down either, and has delivered a fresh batch of environment art for new encounters and locations. A lot of it would be getting dangerously close to spoiler territory, so for now we picked something that gives you the mood without giving too much away. This one comes from a dungeon exit. You can almost feel that harsh air, huh? Oh yeah, I see. The exit. Like you're leaving up the staircase after you've beat the thing. Good vibes. We always love that. They do a really good dark fantasy vibe overall, right? Hey, I hit the X, guys. And all right, new trial, Prisoner. So the second week of Void Hunters, the community trials, this time is spotlight on the Prisoner. Remember, if you did not play Alpha, there's still plenty of places you can dig for knowledge and prepare to make your attempt. If you've already completed this trial, you might be very good. Time to remind you what exactly Void Hunters look like during Alpha. So those of you with a good eye for details will definitely be having a better chance at making it through this one. If you've not signed up yet, just click the button and face the challenge. So it is like weekly trials, so we missed the chance to do the first one if you're watching this video now. I'm assuming, and depending on when you watch it, you might miss this one, but there will be more. Okay, well there you go guys. There's some good updates for Void Hunters overall. So just in case you missed it, the TLDR here, we did have a roadmap. Beta says Q4/Q1. So I assume they meant more like just like winter, not fall, but they are saying fall. So if that's the case, I would guess this is going to happen before Godforge does their beta, our beta for FATELESS, for December. So our beta is going to be December. Hopefully they do theirs in October or November and we can play both. Right? We want things to play. We want to stay busy. And I really like the crew with Void Hunters, even though, like, I've been very clear. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm not 100% sold on the style of the game as far as the actual gameplay itself. With the more roguelike type stuff, I don't know if that's my forte. But I think the game looks very well done. The dev team seems pretty cool. They're there. They're very interactive. They're very much showing their progress now and a lot of behind the scenes, which I really like, and is something I'm getting used to being spoiled with FATELESS and Godforge. So I'm glad that they're kind of doing that too. A lot of companies just don't. A lot of times it's like, okay, here's an alpha. See you for beta. Radio silence. Okay, beta's coming. Here's the details. Okay, launch is coming. You know, like sometimes you just have complete radio silence and there's just nothing in between, which is totally fine. And I get that at the end of the day. It makes sense because so much scrutiny, like we see it. These companies are put under, right? When people overanalyze every little detail, every little change, or things they think they should change, when they don't even realize how much is still planned to be changed. And alphas and betas are not meant to be a finished game. They're meant to test specific aspects of games, but so much has changed over the course of like gameplay and testing, and people have different expectations, which is why Godforge is taking so much longer to do their next beta than initially planned. And it's definitely worth the wait. And I'm sure Void Hunters is doing the same. Void Hunters has been the process started for this game specifically 6 years ago, guys. So it's been in development a long time. And I probably should also give one shout out here that there's been a couple people, he did his event. It was embarrassing. That's funny. There's been a couple creators making videos and updates too, but also Ash actually did a proper full interview with the developers. And I think right here, Wilson Box went over some of the highlights, but poor Ash had a dang cold and sounded miserable. I hope he was okay after. Poor guy. He trekked through the interview even though he was super, super sick. But it was with the devs, the Artifacts Mundi, like the main development company. So pretty cool. And I have not even, I realized I started watching it, I never finished. So I need to do that myself. But that is one to watch if you missed it. All right, guys, I hope you are, looking forward to more Void Hunters content. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one.